2, 1. Welcome to Dungeon Damsels, everybody. Yeah!
Whoa.
Yeah!
Party.
I'm Tiffany, the DM. This is our homebrew campaign on the continent of Ioneer in the world of Etria. You can find me on Twitter if I ever post, dungeon_damsels. Other places, Dungeon Damsels is usually me.
Find me in the world.
Yep. Alright, let's go around to the rest of our players. We got Ciara, Serena in a car, so we'll start with you.
I am yes. Hello. My name's Serena. I play Ciara's Monopolet, our Eldritch Knight, and I am currently a car. Not in-game, just me in general. And you can find me and my work at Slutty Cosplay, Slutty Claws, or on Instagram, or on Twitter at PixiePocalypse.
Yeah, she did our character art. Voila.
It's amazing.
Let's go to Michael.
Hey, I'm Michael. I play our druid and princess in training, Ellie. And you can find me at Robosardi on Instagram and Twitter. I do art and animation and stuff.
Amelia, and I play Ari, our arcane elf sorcerer, and Princess Ari. And I draw and write stuff, and you can find my work at Amelia Pen Draws at anything that I'm on. Instagram is where I'm most active. I'm currently working on writing a novel that I'm also illustrating and
So
writing.
she's cool. And we got Mckenna, who is also cool.
I'm cool.
We're all cool.
I'm Luna.
I'm Luna. I'm cool. I'm our half-elf paladin, and I also write stuff.
Yeah.
We're all creatives and we collaborate to destroy, but nothing.
So last time, the damsels spent some time at Castle Zindrake. Ciara got stuck in the augmentation chamber with Deirdre and the Emperor, and after clever footing, they escaped. Ellie and Canaris went on their long-awaited and adorably dog date. And Canaris took her to the fields, and they visited the horses, which are the big dogs, and they ended the night at a restaurant for dogs. Ari was spending time with her crush Gaius when they were interrupted by Rashad, one of Ari's suitors. He rudely came over and berated Ari for being a troublesome child, and then he called Ari's mom over.
Called my mom on me.
He called her, yeah. And then she came over and was like, "It's time for you to think about what you're going to do for the Empire." And she got chewed out for that. And then I'm pretty sure Ari said, "I'm going to be a necromancer," and stormed off.
She's already forgotten that threat.
Luna encountered Enid, who was one of Ari's sisters, in the hallway. It's a half-sister.
That's pretty fun.
She has 12 cats. As the Dean of Symbology at the Imperial Academy, and has huge social anxiety. But the charming Luna befriended her, and Enid took her to the kitchens where they ate chicken nuggets and regrouped. After that, they reunited with some old friends and found out that Adlanna has been in Borogavar, heralding a revolution for the Tieflings, caught in the middle of the devil and demon conflicts. Adlanna's family came with Narte, and that's the party if they would be willing to help extricate these Tieflings. And they were like, "Yeah, let's totally do that. Let's go to this dangerous place and do that thing." Nothing will go wrong, and Ari was very excited about it, and so Artius came. He pulled her aside and was like, "Why? Why?" And Ari basically convinced him that she really wanted to go, and we found out about some character named Val, whoever that is, and then reluctantly she was allowed to go, but with conditions. And now we will pull away to a scene that you don't see. Yesterday, while the party tranced and slept, I meant to do this last week, but I forgot. So Deirdre was awake with her friend the Emperor that she likes to call Maze. And they're in the augmentation chamber, burning the midnight oil, trying to get it done. And Deirdre yawns and says, you know, you should teach me some fighting spells, because I keep getting embroiled in all sorts of finding fights and dragons, and I just find it not being very useful. And he says, oh, yeah, sure, I can do that. What do for a break anyway? And then she holds up her wizard tome. Do you want to do a spell exchange? So the two nerds get really excited about a spell exchange. And she has her book, and he just reaches into his shadow and, like, pulls out his own wizard book. It says, well, what's sleep anyway? And so the two of them are now... two of them are now, like... And, Deirdre's spellbook is a collection of notes that have been scrawled onto loose pages and bound together. Each page is a measure of thoughts being compiled into a numeric pattern. There's wine stains, as well as blurred inks, and a lot of corners have been dog-eared and worn from coming back to a specific page over and over. She hands hers over to Artius, and he just kind of looks at it like, this is it? And she's like, this is, and she's like, yeah, what do you mean? And he's like, nothing, it's very
No judgment.
It's very thorough. And then his is like this nice, like, black leather, and like it's all like organized in sections. And she's like, you don't have to be polite to me. I know it's a mess. I just don't care because it's my stuff. And then she flips his open and is like, yours is really nice. It's just like old Bluebeard stuff. And he just says, oh, I do more than one draft. Oh. So they're they're chatting, and then the augmentation door swings open. And it appears that there's a body there that's just standing, and then it flumps over. So the two wizards look at each other, and then in steps a slim, dark-haired arcane elf. Actually, no, he has white hair, sorry, I forgot. And it's Dr. Teo, who is a resident of the castle that you haven't met. And he's like Professor Snape if he were your doctor. So, Artis looks at him and says, Dr. Teo, why have you brought a corpse into my augmentation chamber? And he says, oh, well, I have brought you a problem, not a corpse. And then he comes over, the doctor, he comes over and he kicks the body, which then wriggles and writhes. And Deirdre goes, ugh. And then the corpse, quote unquote, groans, moans, and its eyes look around bewildered, the jaw is slack. And then Arceus kind of like mage hands this corpse hand away from him and says, and you brought me an animated corpse because... Well, that's an astute assumption, but no. The doctor pulls out this syringe. This is our lethal injection concoction. And then he plunges it into the neck of the body and injects the entire substance into it. The body shudders, falls limp, and then a few moments later, it begins to move again. He won't die. And Teo's a little more excited than one should be over this. Says that with a little grin. And the Emperor steps over and touches it. It's still warm.
Yeah, really, I can't use the...
And the body grasps at his tunic and he steps back. So he says, well, what about burning or cutting? Well, the heading's actually rather funny. Torso will keep running around, the head screams. Lovely. Deirdre says, are the souls still in the bodies? Thus, and Artius says, I can still see it. He, Then Artius says, okay, I'm gonna try something, but step back because you might take a hand off. So he starts casting a spell, which kind of manifests as this veil of just black that descends over the body and drapes onto it. And then the body just dissolves under this mantle of darkness and just turns to a pile of ash. He casts Disintegrate. So Teo watches with a raised eye. So, you have soul cages just ready to go? The people have pretty good information. And this whole time, they're just casually going on about, like, how they're going to keep this soul in a jar for a little bit. And then Deirdre is just peppering him with all these questions about how that's working, and then the scene fades away. So, now we're jumping back to... So that happened. Now we're jumping back to where the party dropped off last time. Where Ari rejoins the party, and now we have all the damsels, as well as Narte and Various, in the foyer. Not foyer, they're in the throne room. Narte has been excitedly chatting over his past events and recounting events that led him back here. Various is just standing, and the room is yours to discuss your next course of action.
You still have that dress on you. I'm talking to Ari.
Well, let's just go to that scene then. Suddenly, the doors open. And a kobold pokes her head in. Ah, princess, I finished. She bares her teeth at you, and you think it's a smile. Just something I whipped up on short notice, but I was able to salvage an old idea that didn't go through. And she holds out this garment bag and lifts up the bottom to expose this shimmering, glittery fabric. The shimmer comes from quartz dust. The fabric is dipped while being woven, but it doesn't drape as well as I'd hoped. And then and His Majesty, and she looks over at Artius, who's still just talking to his cabinet of people, turned me down as soon as I said glitter. And she looks so upset. Across the hall, he calls back, I still stand by that. But it will make for a lovely split gown. She claps. My assistants were able to adjust the pair of lovely heels for the whole ensemble, and she laughs almost musically. And then she goes to Ciara and strokes her leg and is like, "We can't let these muscular legs go. I noticed. No, this is art." And then she claps again. Show us. And so her assistants.
And we're just over there.
Her assistants, one of them is an elf with blue-green skin and gills, and she approaches with the box, and has this additional bag, and inside are these beautiful high heels, and then you open up the garment bag, and it's this shimmering fabric that comes in two pieces and has gold edging around it. Can you post it for us, for them to see? And then when I edit this video, I will put it in there so everyone can see this beautiful creation that Amelia and I talked way too much about. We went through a lot of color iterations.
We went through a lot of color.
We did. We went through a lot of color iterations. We agreed that blue is definitely Ciara's color, but we wanted to explore other avenues that might work. And we found a couple. So it's this, it has a halter top.
Oh my god!
I wish we could see your face.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so
Luna's digging it.
yeah, Luna's like, hey, and
Please tell me it's like every anime, how they like somehow accidentally find themselves in the dress and they're like, how? Why am I wearing this?
Ciara, you are rushed into an empty meeting room and urged to change, I suppose.
Wait,
Feels like
sorry, I'm gonna pause real quick. Hold on. I love this, but give me just a second.
I will describe the dress a little bit more. It is a halter top with, we have a glittering, almost diamond appearance to it. There is kind of a corset lace accenting. There's a gem brooch that goes just above the navel, and the shoes are gold with this like strappy kind of wrap around the leg that echoes the corset lacing crisscross pattern. And then there, of course, are other accents, like a little like gold tiara thing and some like accent jewelry. Yeah, well, if you're gonna get a Meryl, then it's gonna be the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, like we see Ciara being rushed off with like this dress and like assistants and stuff, and Ellie just turns to Luna and it's like, did Artius get Ciara a dress? Is she also a princess?
Another princess?
We have so many.
Yeah.
I think we missed it.
Ciara saw only like a glance of the dress, and she's like, "Oh, what's that?" And then it's like they're moving her. She's like, "Oh, what? Why? No, why? Why?" And,
Why are you moving
like,
me?
I get the feeling that she looks at Ari, who is smiling and waving, probably, and then she's just like, "Oh, I hate that."
Ari's giving her a big thumbs up. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's like Hiccup.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's giving her like thumbs up, and then like she was fine, and then she saw like the shoes, and she's like, "Oh, what are those?
What is this?
They come with weapons?
My God,
They look
it's
like knife tips. They don't look like stilettos I've ever seen. Yeah, I know stilettos. Stilettos the knife? No, stilettos the shoes. What are the shoes? You can't wear stilettos for shoes.
It's not a stiletto heel. Well, it's a lower stiletto heel, but it has a pretty good
it's like-
platform underneath it, so it wouldn't be as hard to walk in.
Okay, yeah. So it's more familiar. She's like, that is a shoe, but it is a shoe.
It's a shoe? Is that a shoe? So, the assistants are very good at their job. They're used to dressing people, and somehow you whisked away and turned in and put in this outfit with like speed and fluidity that you have never known before.
They probably have a higher dexterity than her, and it's a little bit discombobulating because she thought that she could pretty much buff it. Then she's like, "Oh no, I can dress myself. No, I can really dress. I can dress myself." And it's just like, wait, hold on.
And
This is the
they like
front.
take your hair out and like let it, it's usually braided, so it has this nice wave, and then they suddenly like half of it's in a bun, and they put a little tiara on you, and then you're promptly pushed out the door. And everyone sees you.
My back is covered, so she's self-conscious about that. So she's like she goes out immediately back against the wall, just like, ta-da.
I remember what Ari tells me, that people curtsy and bow to princesses, so I do that to Ciara.
Ciara immediately just like reaching out to up, no, stop it now. Just stop it.
But you're not a princess too?
She gives you this look that's like, how? But then she's like, "Oh, not in the slightest, love. No." Oculus is probably like emerged from the full like body of her hair. It's like just like squeaking at her.
I think Oculus would just go nuts because it's super shiny.
It is so shiny. He's probably trying to take pieces of it for himself.
He's just like, why won't this come up? And like, Narte is just like, dang girl! And he's just like, you look so fabulous! And he's super wow! And then it suddenly dawns on him that like this is the Meryl, and he's just like, I must speak to the Meryl. And he's like, are you Meryl? And the kobold's just like, that is what they call me, yes? And he's like, I am a huge fan. I've adored your work forever. And he just oozes and gushes over her. You look at Farius. He just nods.
Is that if I pick you?
Naruto is clearly excited.
Out the waist.
I lean into Luna and I'm like, I guess the kobold's a princess too.
Ciara just
Sure.
she's hearing Princess talk, and for her it makes her treason nerves itch. So it's just like, oh no. And she just the stylist for the, and she's kind of sputtering. So then she just sort of breathes. It was a bet, and Ari won, and so fashioned me a fairly nice dress. Where have they taken my armor?
I feel
It's just like, there's like a little bag that is being held by, I guess it wouldn't be a little bag because it's holding all of your plate. So
Yeah, it's
like,
holding your-
it's a huge bag that the
Unless they
assistant,
have it in the bag holding in a bag.
It's
one of the
probably- it's
assistants
probably
is
like a
struggling to
mannequin-like
hold.
thing. I don't know.
Bet you could get them to clean it and polish it up for you.
And she's paying attention, but at the same time she's looking at herself, and she's like, this is oddly light.
Yes, it's very swishy. And we'll see who's paying attention. Because there's a lot of commotion, and the other side of the room has a lot of people over there. So, yeah. Oh, okay, we
The
got
dang girl comment from
From Naruto.
dang girl. Yeah, okay, yeah, I would say that would pull people's attention over
Yeah.
there. And
Hoping Artius is just like,
let's see if he's paying attention. He I rolled a nat 20 for paying attention.
So he's paying
I know
attention.
everything. I know everything.
so he's paying attention, but it's in slow motion too.
He's holding 5 different conversations right now and noticing.
Yeah.
Man,
And succeeding at all of them.
Doesn't seem
He-
real, but it's true.
He stops mid-sentence as he turns as he sees you descend down the stairwell.
And there's just all this sparkle because
And there's sparkles in the background too, with pretty music.
yeah.
I like
Sparkle.
this pretty music. It looks graceful up until she's like trying to get the bat to stop tugging things off of her, and then like she boops his nose and he boops her nose, and then she just like tries to chase him and just like, oh no, we can't. Okay, my
It's
legs.
okay. Can't
What's happening?
run.
The sun is
Can't
streaming in
walk.
through the the moonlight, not sun. The moonlight is streaming in through the window.
So at this point, his Artius, Thawne, Lister, Taliki, and Serena have come over. And Serena really likes it. She's like, oh, you look so beautiful. It's so pretty. I should get a dress like that. And she's talking to Meryl like, I would like one like that. I didn't think I could do glitter. And then Taliki's just like, this is not really me.
Yeah.
It's just like not really me. She's all about power suits and black, so she's just like, Vaughn is like, you been hiding? And he's like, what have you been doing hiding that rack? Come on.
Oh my!
Like blue, just so embarrassed. But then she just like, he says that, and she's like, this is like this loony laughter, like,
Which Artius just smacks him and says, decorum, please. Lister just Lister's this quiet guy. You usually don't get a lot out of him. But he looks at you and you see him like pull out this little notebook and write something in it and then put it away.
got a notebook.
And then Artius finally says, you look lovely. Please excuse Vaughn's enthusiasm. And then he's just like, we're going with you. I can't take you places.
Nope.
you are not a gentleman. You stop.
Yeah.
The attention has Ciara like a little bit like she's been trying to be like under the radar this entire time since they entered the Arcanic Empire, and having specifically 4 people look at her makes her so anxious. She's like standing up straight and her arms are just like pulling to her side like, oh, hi, right, and then just like, oh, that's fine. And she's like, she does make eye contact probably with Luna, because Luna's the best dressed of all of them. And it's just like, do we ask her? Like, she just doesn't say anything, but it's like, what do we do when they're looking?
Help me.
Luna kind of subtly like strikes a pose, like in a way to like imply that you should do this particular pose, kind of like to show your good side.
Show you the good side.
Flaunt it.
Yeah.
Should ask her to flaunt it, and Ciara just, she does mirror you, like, stand a little straighter, probably like,
Make a performance check. Let's see how good this goes. Let's see how good this
what are
goes.
we doing?
Did you get advantage for me helping, or?
Also, I'm like right next to Luna, so I see her doing that, and I'm like, maybe this is
Maybe I
more
should also do
princess
that.
like.
Do you need us to roll for you because you're in a car?
It's okay, we're parked, it's a good time. I rolled a 11, and that, my performance, I believe, is +3.
Okay,
So I
that's-
rolled
that's
a 14, so it's
It's okay. Like you first, it takes you a minute to like lean into it, and then you're like, okay, this is kind of like a performance. So you lean into it, and finally it settles on you, and then people just are like, yeah, that's nice, and then they
Ciara looks at you like you betrayed her. Like, why they're looking? So wait, this
They're looking even more.
is more attention. No.
Luna just mouths like, they're not gonna stop. Just
just gotta roll.
Sparkly.
yeah.
He finds a far away place on the wall and just stuffs you.
Yeah. I'm doing like the same pose, and I'm like, yeah, you look great.
Thank you. Ciara's ears just like lower, and her face is so blue. Just like, thank you. And then she does look at me and is like, "This is a lovely dress."
They look great.
Yeah, you look great.
Was really outdone herself.
She really, yeah, outdone is definitely a word.
Wait a minute, you got this for losing?
So quickly.
Oh, I want to lose.
Hey, you want a nice dress.
We were working and she was faster, so said loser gets to choose the next person's outfit, and it's a nice outfit. It's very nice.
How does it feel? Is it itchy at all, or is it nice?
It's nice.
Ciara like swishes a
It's
little bit.
easy to
at
move
the
it.
question.
It does not
And
look
there's
easy.
this tiny little. She probably smiles a little bit. You ask if it feels nice, right? And then Ciara just sort of like pats some of the fabric like on her leg, and then just swishes a little bit. And then her like ear twitches, and she just sort of smiles a little. It's like the least stiff you've seen her. She's like, oh, hey, it's nice. It's like soft. She likes it soft.
That's good.
At one point, Various leans over to you and he says, "You know, you could use this to your advantage."
You really could.
It's like,
She
yeah.
gets it.
He looks at Luna. She gets it. A lot can be done with the flat. He says, "A lot can be done if you flash a bit of skin."
Wait, what?
Ciara is like looking at the both of them, not really sure what they mean. She's like, "Oh, like about getting a discount on the armor." I guess she's still thinking about getting adjustments to that last armor that they stole.
Depends who you ask.
Ari's gonna go over to Art and say Meryl does a better job on Ciara, then on you.
Oh my god.
Well, I won't argue with that.
He's flashing shade at your brothers. Just rude.
Yeah, as sisters do. Well,
It's a sibling way.
Yeah.
make an insight, Ari, at him. Make an insight. And you can do it at advantage because he's your brother.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, okay, so your wisdom's a +0. Okay.
Because wisdom is me.
He is trying so hard to, like, not be distracted by the glitter. You're not sure if it's the glitter or if it's Ciara or it's the whole thing, but he's trying really hard to just...
It's a really nice dress.
Yeah, oh, pretty nice dress, huh? Huh?
Yes, we've established the dress is nice. Let's talk about business.
I'm sending
Elantria.
you to a war zone. Please focus.
Yeah, into Borogavar.
Yes, I'm glad
You
you're...
said that and immediately Ciara just like she tries not to shake her head like, oh, that's a party.
Well, I'm glad you're enthusiastic about it, Elantria. You're going to head the decision making. You
Ears
need
go
to decide who is going into Borogavar, what you're going to do to survive there, how we're going to get the people out, and how you're going to stay alive the whole time.
As he talks, there's just the slowest turn of her head. She's like looking at Ellie, and she's just slowly turning towards him like, why this? Why?
Why? It's like,
Yeah, and you see
She
Ellie.
doesn't say anything, she's just,
Ellie
like, slowly
brings
looking
out
at
her
him.
pipe and start trying to stoke down. It's like,
and he kind of leans into you, leans over you, Ellie, because he's just that tall, and he says,
yeah.
and know that your decision will affect hundreds of people. Welcome to leadership.
No pressure.
You have until the 6th hour to come up with the plan, then you'll present it to council, just to them, the 5 of them, and we'll move from there. And then he just leaves. He's just like, bye.
Ciara is like looking from him to Ellie, and then to Luna, then Ellie, and then like Ari to Ellie, and then Ellie to Ellie, and then Ellie to Artius, and then back to Ellie, and then just like, what? She's short circuiting.
Quick question. I remember us talking about the whole thing of like trying to take care of Luna's trial first before we go to Borogavar, so that like she's not getting in trouble for like going to a new plane or something.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you're
Yeah,
not
you're
like
just-
fleeing on the land.
He's
Yeah,
asking her to build a plan.
Yeah,
not-
it's just
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's just to build a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So you have time to build the
There.
plan
That's
and
good.
go to the library. And, like, because he's saying, build a plan and then show it to me.
So basically, she has homework so that like over the next one, however long it takes, because they have to like gather supplies and stuff like that, and like
Mhm.
so it's probably like, here, you give me draft 1. We'll probably hit about draft 495, like about when it starts to look good. Like an obnoxious game of paperwork volleyball for them now.
Okay.
Okay, so Narte's just like, wow, well, that was exciting. So what's the plan?
That's a word. Exciting is a word.
Well,
Ciara just like her eyes snapped at him. That's definitely a word. Exciting is a word.
So you guys can talk to the you can talk to Richard or Alarkin and Estima. I'm gonna have a hard time remembering them. So you can ask them about Borogavar. You can contact like any of the NPCs that you've met from like forever until now, and ask them to help. You'll need to figure out like what kind of mission it's gonna be. Like, is this a stealth mission? Are you just going in guns blazing? Or like the main goal is to get to the tieflings and then pull them out. So you're gonna
The map?
Oh, a map. That would be good.
Had a couple of nights, right?
mhm.
So I'm leaving this to creative solutions. And also, you can use the time to go to basically the law library and get the stuff that Luna needs.
Ellie, you should ask for a map. Maps or maps if they've got multiple maps, like of where.
Yeah, Ellie's pipe is just hanging out of her mouth. It drops, and she's like, yeah, map. Man, decisions are hard to do.
All that matters is that you do the next thing that you have to do. Maps are important.
You need
Okay.
maps, you need information of where the entry point and the exit point would be. You need to know your route.
Ciara is trying to be helpful and not sound like she's scolding anyone, but at the same time, yeah, like there's this energy of you're doing great, sweetie, and also I am tired.
This is great, guys.
Yep. Ellie's
Into the
walking
pretty
out into
lady.
open traffic with her knee pads and her helmet, and she's ready to go. Let's do this.
Okay. My thoughts? The more fighting that we plan to do, the more people we plan on dying. So it probably is better to go with a stealth operation.
Okay. Maybe I could talk to Deirdre. I mean, she's a powerful wizard. She might.
You probably know something.
She might be.
What? I know what? she's just there. Like, she's not part of the cabinet. And so, like, she's just like, what?
I mean, you're pen pals with Artie. I mean, you must be a powerful wizard.
Well,
You-
he definitely knows more than me, but what do you want to know? My main field of study is this planet and how magic affects ecosystems. Just so you know.
Do you know how we would actually get to Borogavar? Like, would we be using magic to get there? Is there an entrance straight into that plane?
Oh, yeah, you'll definitely be using some sort of magic to get there. I was like, I'm pretty sure Maze knows how to get there. Said so last time. So you got away there. You just need to tell him where you want to be dropped off.
Well, we need to know where the
We need a map.
tieflings are.
Yeah, well, maybe you ought to ask them about it. And she points over to, like, Richard and the Estima and Alarkin, and they're just discussing things like probably like logistics and like trades and supplies.
Good idea, Richard.
Yeah. I think I can also pray to some of my ancestors to see if I know that some of them have flame hopped for fun before. I
Okay.
can see if any of them have been there and if there's any critical details they can provide.
Sounds good.
They probably wouldn't have up-to-date maps or anything, but
Yes. So you first we'll do Ellie, and Ellie, you approach Richard, and he's just like, "Oh, yes, Miss Ellie. What can I do for you?"
Yeah, I like run up all eager, like, but then I like present myself like a princess, and I'm like, Mr. Richard.
He bows.
What?
I'm moving real
Please.
quick, so
Ciara,
What was that?
I think it was just back.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just back pickup. Yeah.
Okay. Please, pray tell of Borogavar. What do you know where the tieflings will be? Or is that also part of our mission?
Well, I could tell you a lot about Borogavar. I spent my youth there, and so he explains that Borogavar has very extreme weather. It's either really hot or it's really cold. And so you'll need to prepare at least somewhat for, like, basically entering a, like, volcanic magma zone. And, you know, lots of, there are, like, native fire elementals there. the ground is unstable in a lot of areas. Areas that are more stable are rocky, and water supplies are limited, so there's a lot of discord over water supplies. Then like there's a weird existence on Borogavar, because there's basically like half the planet's a tundra, and the other half of the plane, I should say, is this like magma volcano area, essentially. And there's this like threshold between them that makes it like livable, and that's just a lot of what they're arguing over. There's also some social discord over like what they should be doing.
So would the tieflings be where the two weathers, well, I guess the two climates meet?
He says most likely they'll be he points to like he does have a map. He says this map's a bit old, but basically there's this mountain range, and they're thinking that the tieflings are going to be sequestered in the mountain range. The problem is that Adlanna doesn't know Borogavar like he does. Like, she hasn't been there as long, for years. And so she's describing the landscapes to him as she understands them. So they're basically going off what she's described and what he remembers. And they're like, we think it's in this mountain range. The problem is that mountain range is also a like hot war zone that's contested territory. So they're trying to figure out how to pull the tieflings out.
Okay. So they're basically hiding in like the main war zone.
Yeah, it's just kind of like unfortunate circumstance that happened, where like they've just been trying to escape oppression from like being half-breeds, and went and like hid in the mountains where they could scrape by a living with like the mountain streams. And it's part of the mountain, it's right on the edge of that strip, so like you could go through part of the mountain where it's really hot, and then the other part of the mountain that's really cold, and in the middle there's kind of this slim zone of like in the middle.
Well, we do. Okay, well, at least we have a general destination. I mean, with myself included, and we might be able to get other magically inclined people to help us. I have a spell that helps me locate creatures, and great thing is, and I like turn towards Una, we know that Adlanna's alive.
Yeah,
that is great. He's like, and Richard, Richard's just like, yeah, that is great to know my wife's alive. I've been wondering.
So I can use that spell to locate her, and that'll make it a little bit easier to find them.
Yeah, the way that works is that you have to be within like X amount.
Yeah,
of,
it's
like,
a certain
feet,
range.
Certain range.
Like it's I think it's
like 1,000 feet, I think.
Yeah, I think so. It's a pretty big range, but like I'm pretty sure it's like less than like let's see.
So, but we'll say like you kind of, that's a start. Yeah, that's a starting point. And then so Richard says, yeah, well, we have this area and this area. Basically, there's like the mountains, and then it comes down to like a valley, and like that's where a lot of like the fighting happens, and sometimes the fighting occurs in the mountains. It's just not very, easy to fight in a mountain. So like they tend to go to the plains. And Richard says, well, we can put you perhaps somewhere in the mountains. We could put you in the valley, perhaps over here in like a less, active area.
if she's trying to rally an army, she'd be doing it in secret, so it'd probably be within the mountains. Like, they wouldn't be... They would try to get as far away from the fighting.
I think she'll be in the mountains.
Ciara is trying to say something.
Like this dragon bone on his face.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Wait, hang on. Alright, go.
Okay. Is there anything that, as Ciara thinks, is there anything that she could sort of reflect on from, like, what she might remember from past life experience?
You do like tame the dragons.
Oh, okay. Yeah, apparently you do have some burning memories. So, I'll have you make a history check.
Okay. History. Oh, that's a 17, and I don't know what my history is. Let me double check. I think it's...
If you're not proficient, it's just your modifier of intelligence.
Yes. I think... I'm gonna find it, because I just gotta find chat. My goodness, this is the last place I left it. There it is.
Yay.
Doo-doo. Image. So all the way up here. There it is. E. 17 plus. Aha, 3. That's a dirty 20.
Okay, what kind of information are you looking for?
Technically speaking, because she's been doing a lot, like, I imagine Drow just sort of inundate each other with a bunch of old tactical stuff and, you know, sneaking around in a cave and along walls and just... and also seeing, like, a war zone firsthand and figuring out what's the best way to enter, but also not enter immediate combat that would get us all death-tied. Like, I think that would probably be something she'd just be, like, focusing on, like, how do I... Well, she wants to help. She doesn't know what to do, but she wants to help. She just wants them to live.
She just wants them to live. So you're thinking about, like, the capabilities of demons and devils, and, like, they can fly. So they're gonna be in the air, they're gonna be on the ground, so you're gonna want to go somewhere where you're at least gonna have cover in case something flies overhead. And you know that there's fighting on the ground, and there's less fighting in the mountains. So it seems more intelligent of a choice to decide to go somewhere in the mountains. The only problem with that is that the way that teleport works is basically you say, like, take me to the mountains of this plane, or like take me to the city of this plane. So it's not like super accurate, especially since the caster himself hasn't like been there.
Hi, this is Tiffany, your GM and editor. Thanks so much for watching the show. We update when my life allows it. Sorry, I can't be more specific than that. If you're looking for a more kid-friendly show, I will never go above a PG-13 rating, so please share, like, sub, tell your friends, and comment. Thanks again for watching, and we hope to hear from you soon.